you're self-made, stand to your feet right now. Bosses and entrepreneurs all across the world. Paycheck to paycheck is for the birds.
Hustle hard when the spring, summer, fall. Made it to a millionaire from an underdog. People quick to judge you, they don't even know your grind. Revenue from e-com, marketing, the clothing lines. Do it all if I put my mind to it. Put me in the darkness, I'ma shine through it. My life was on the right track, just had to fine tune it. Started up my own company, now I'm signed to it. Yeah. Rule number one, you gotta save your cash. Rule number two, invest it all and make it back. Double up, put your whole team in a player path. So many whips on the street that we got the neighbors mad. Ayy, take a vacay in the Dominican, feeling like the Warriors with the ring, we finna win again. I ask God, give me favor while I serve. Cause living paycheck to paycheck is for the birds, real talk. Used to stress getting paid, now I'm self-made.
Yo, do me a favor, chime in below. Let me know where you watching from. Happy Tuesday.
Afraid to be self-made. Used to stress getting paid, now I'm self-made. Had to grind every day, now I'm self-made. Long nights used to pray, now I'm self-made. A lot of lives got saved cause we self-made.
Was made by myself, these millions is in my vision now. Make no universal, got me closing deals for 50,000 up when I was just a child. Shoes was always out of style. Mom said, just be successful when you gon' make me proud. Pack the whip up, now we headed out to Oceanside. Mill at 25, that's the first time I felt the line. Before I had to drop it, always had to drive inside. Grind 24 hours, no, we don't do the 9 to 5. Cha-ching team, my people with ring bling. I'm shooting up for the stars, every shot is a green beam. The rollie is rose gold, built the supreme team. You can make it too as long as you focus on your dreams. Self-made boss, don't move unless I say so. I'm amazing, call me young Jeff Bezos. Self-made clothes at the toe, got a caseload. Long nights and day go, thinking what a day go.
Used to stress getting paid, now I'm self-made.
Yo, what up? Chime in below, let me know where you watching from.
Long nights used to pray, now I'm self-made. Took risks, unafraid to be self-made. Used to stress getting paid, now I'm self-made. Had to grind every day, now I'm self-made. Long nights used to pray, now I'm self-made. A lot of lives got saved cause we self-made.
I'm self-made. I'm self-made. I'm self-made.
Corey Allen. Yo, what's going on? Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome out everybody. We are starting the series Hungry vs. Starving. These lives, my podcast, everything is launching this week, closer to next week. So make sure you guys tune in. This is week 1. We're going to talk about sometimes you have to put down the hustler to let the entrepreneur come out of you, right? And so let me kind of like just talk a little bit about what a hustler is, first and foremost, right? A hustler is somebody who strives to get what they want, right? When they say like, I'm on the hustle, it's like somebody who's pushing to get something in return, right? But sometimes the downfall to the word hustler is typically somebody's doing something that they shouldn't be doing, or they have no passion of doing, but they're trying to get a result of something, right? And so the cold-blooded part about being like a hustler is that a lot of us were born broke, right? We were like born into absolutely having like no kind of money, born into straight poverty, right? Couldn't do much. We all had like certain friends or certain people we knew who had everything. They had money, they were going on trips, they was taking vacations, they was doing everything that you could think of, right? They had the name brand shoes, they had everything, right? But most of us were born into poverty, where maybe we had to pay less shoes. Maybe we didn't have everything that everybody had. We couldn't go on trips. We couldn't take vacations. We've never touched an airplane, right? We've never been anywhere. But our parents found a way to make things work, right? So those are the people that usually are the hustlers. The ones who grew up with nothing and they're trying to turn their life around, are trying to make life happen by any means. So 95% of the times we do what comes to us first, naturally, right? Like that's a hustler. A hustler is somebody, if you told a hustler like, yo, you can make 25 grand this week. You can make $2,500 this week selling elephants. You can make $2,500 this week selling elephants. A hustler is going to go to every zoo and try to find a way to sell the elephant, right? A hustler is going to try to find his best way to make that money, right? But the cool thing about a hustler is they have the work ethic. That's number one. The hustler has the work ethic. But number two is the hustler don't have the wisdom. I used to have a crazy uncle who was like the best hustler I ever known. he would try to make money by any way possible, right? Any way, shape, or form, he would try to make money. No matter what no matter what it was, he was always out there hustling, right? But sometimes that you don't realize is that the hustler is chasing the money. The entrepreneur is chasing the freedom, right? And the difference between the two is to hustle, it don't require faith. But to be an entrepreneur, it requires all the faith in the world, right? And so many times we mistake that, oh, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a hustler. Those are two different kinds of people. A hustler is chasing the bag. The entrepreneur is chasing freedom, right? And the worst part about it is you can hustle and be an entrepreneur at the same time. But the scariest part is that a hustler does not always think the way that an entrepreneur thinks. See, a hustler is going to think of what's the quickest way I can flip this to make this money, or what's the quickest thing that I can do to get this money, right? Like most of us, a lot of us join different companies, a lot of us join different opportunities, and we do it in the hustle mentality. Like, I'm a hustler, I got to make this money, I got to do a way to provide for my family, I got a way to do this. Like, we're willing to risk our lonely life that we're trying to have, right? Sometimes we're willing to risk even what we've trying to build, right? To hustle. But then the craziest part about a hustler is they have this thought process. They have this mentality of an entrepreneur, right? Like, they want to create something. Like, you can't tell me one hustler that doesn't want to create. You can't name one hustler that naturally has an idea of how to make money, right? And so the craziest part about being a creator is you're either going to hustle or you're going to either be an entrepreneur, right? But the scariest part is, how do you distinguish both? Right? So me, when I first ever joined multi-level marketing, I was 17 years old, turning 18 years old. I joined ACN. I chased the money. I could care less about telecommunications. I could care less about the video phone. I went from ACN to Amway. I went from Amway to, what's that company called? Secret. I went from Secret to this. I went to this to this. And the hustler in me was like, keep going. Like, you're going to get your breakthrough. The hustler in me was like, Nate, you're going to make money. You know, join these different companies. You're going to make money. You're going to make this thing happen. The hustler in me was like, keep going. But the hustler in me also quit, right? The hustler in me didn't have longevity. The hustler in me didn't have wisdom. So every company I joined, if I didn't see a return in 7 days to 14 days to 21 days, I would quit. I would say it didn't work. I would say it's not real. These people coming up on these seminars talking about them making all this money, this is not real to me at all. I don't believe it. These dudes are just up here lying. They're dogging us. The hustler thinks small-minded. I need you to understand that. The hustler thinks small-minded, and they chase the thrill. The thrill of, you can flip this to make this as fast as this, right? Not knowing that it takes time. But the entrepreneur inside of you, the thing that you was born with, is always creating. It's always having ideas. Like, your whole life, you've been thinking about what you're going to do when you get older. Like, till this day, you're still dreaming of what you can create. Till this day, you're still thinking of, I'm going to build a business. Oh, I'm going to have a bakery. Like, the entrepreneur side of you, someone can give you an idea. Like, they could throw a word to you. They could be like, man, I got this idea for bean bags. And then the entrepreneur inside of you is going to think of a whole business about bean bags. Oh, we're going to create a Shopify store. We're going to get some blue ones. We're going to get some red ones. Oh, then we can sell the beanbags to Apple. We can sell the beanbags. Like, the creator of inside of you is so creative that it can create a full blueprint of success. The only problem is you don't have the patience for the blueprint to develop, right? And so just like an architect, when they draw a home, they can't have the home built tomorrow. But they get excited, though, when they're drawing the home because they're outlining what the finished product is going to look like. This is good. They're outlining what the finished product is going to look like, so they get excited when they think that the stairwell is going to go like this. Oh, it's going to have 3 rooms. We're going to also put a back room right here, and then we're going to be able to put it right here, and then this is going to go to the basement. They get all excited because they're creating something from scratch. All of us get excited because we create from scratch, right? But here's the part is like, now you have this blueprint for success, right? And it's like, okay, now I need some construction workers. I need some people who's going to build this blueprint. Well, guess what? You are the construction worker, right? The same person that's the architect of your life as you is the same person that has to build it, which is you, right? And so sometimes what you don't realize is that the architect don't know how to build. They just know how to draw. That's the deepest part. The architect only knows how to draw, but they can't build the home. They don't know which screw goes where. They don't know how much cement goes here. They don't know nothing. They just know how to draw what they naturally see. The reason about us is we become the architect, and from the architect, we become the hustler. You cannot go from entrepreneur to hustler and then expect the results of an entrepreneur. It doesn't make sense. you got to realize that if you're going to draw it out, you got to build it out the same exact way. And sometimes building can require other people to help you build, right? As an architect, I can draw out my blueprint, but I understand that if you gave me a hammer and a nail, our house is going to look like a dog at the end of the day because I don't know how to build it, right? I can draw it, though, as clear as day. I can tell you what I see, what I want it to look like, where it's going, where we headed at, what the basement going to look like. I got all the vision in the world. But when it comes to execution, that's where I lack, right? And that's just like you that's watching this Facebook Live right now or listening to this podcast. That may be your problem. You can think of everything in the world. You can create the dopest idea. You can create the dopest plan. But when it comes to executing the plan, you didn't realize that, you have laziness. You didn't realize that you don't have a lot of self-belief. You didn't realize that you can't handle adversary when things is coming at you. And because of that, now you're sitting around, you're like, man, I got this dope plan, but I can't build it. I got this dope idea, but I can't build it. Why can't you build it? Why can't you execute? So instead of executing, you point the finger and you blame it on everybody else. Oh, I was scammed. Oh, he took my money. Oh, this didn't work. It didn't do this. But what did you do? What did you do to make the difference? Did you go 100% in your business? Did you go 100% in everything that you said you was going to do? Did you wake up every single day and hustle? Did you wake up every single day and execute? Or did you wait around? Did you wake up doubting? Did you wake up fearful? Did you wake up worried about rejection? Did you wake up wondering, what if this doesn't work out? All this plays a big part in the work that has to be done. Imagine going to a doctor's office and the doctor tells you, oh, there's a problem with you, we got to perform surgery, right? And as they get ready to perform surgery, what if they told you they was nervous while you were asleep already? What if they said, I don't know if this is going to work out? You sleep. You're supposed to wake up with everything ready, rocking the right way it's supposed to, and you wake up and you finally realize that they didn't even perform the surgery because they was nervous. You are literally the doctor of your own life. If you are afraid to perform surgery in the areas that you needed, then you're going to wake up the same exact way every single day. If you're lazy and you wake up tomorrow lazy, that's what's going to be, right? Because you're not performing the right surgery every single day that's needed. That's the thing that you got to realize. If a doctor woke you up out your surgery and you woke up and said, doctor, did you fix my appendix? Did you fix my rotator's cuff like you said you were going to do? And they say, well, hey, man, no, we actually got a little nervous. You would look at that doctor like, what? What? I paid for my insurance for you to take good care of me. It's the same investment that God made in you, right? He put an investment into you. He's ready for the ROI. It's up to you to believe and trust in everything that you have to do inside of you. When you go to bed, every night, self-examine yourself. What do I need to work on? What do I need to do so that I can execute at a higher rate? How do I make more money? First, you got to make better of you first, right? You got to perform the correct surgery every single night inside of yourself, right? You have to remove what's not right. If you're lazy and you wake up every morning, you're trying to work, that's not going to work. You can't keep blaming people for it. If you don't know how to execute because you're nervous and you're fearful, you got to work on your faith. Right? You got to realize what kind of surgery do you need to perform. Yo, listen, if you guys are getting some value from this first episode of Hungry vs. Starving, sometimes you got to remove the hustler and let the entrepreneur come out of you. Please chime in below. Give me some love. Give me some hearts. Give me some thumbs. Talk to me and talk to me nice, please. But I'm going to wrap this up because I don't want to talk you guys' ear off. I just want to make sure you guys are getting some value. You got to determine what you're going to do in 2020. Like I made a post the other day. I said, what have you done differently this year than last year? Because if you're still the same hustler as you were last year, where you were trying to make ends meet, so you did a little bit of everything, right? Some of you guys tried so many businesses and joined so many different things, and you have no passion about it, right? Like you don't even want to do it. That's the hustler in you. You're chasing the money. You're chasing the idea of making money. You're chasing the idea of what is possible versus you chasing the entrepreneur inside of you. There's this entrepreneur that lives in you that's ready for you to go to the next level, right? There's this idea, there's these visions, there's these amazing things that you're ready to do, and you cannot be fearful. You cannot be fearful. You cannot be fearful to go for it, right? Taking a risk on yourself is the best risk you could ever take in your life, because one, that risk is always going to turn into a reward. Whether or not you make $1 million, which you will, right? If after going after your dreams, whether or not you do that, you're going to become a better person. Are you hungry? Are you starving? The person that's hungry will delay their appetite to eat with others. The person that's starving is going to eat with or without anybody. Guys, this is the first episode. If you're rocking with Hungry versus Starving, sometimes you got to let the hustler, put the hustler down inside of you, let the entrepreneur come out of you, make some noise, chime in below if you're rocking with me on this. We're going to be doing these various moments. I got a seminar this week, so I'm going to try to bang another one out tomorrow. But, episode 1, put the hustler down. Let that entrepreneur that's inside of you, let it awaken. Go create something that's going to leave a legacy. Most people that hustle can't pass nothing down to their kids. When you run out of money from giving to them, what you going to give them next? But if you create a legacy and you create a business and you create something that's profitable and something that's sustainable, you can hand it down to your kids and be like, go run this. You would never have to worry about your kids getting a job because you can employ them. Put the hustler down. Let that entrepreneur that's inside of you come out. It's your boy Nate, Mr. I Make Noise. Peace. Let go. Come on now.